Good afternoon, guys and dolls. Mga katribo, we welcome you to another exciting episode of Spotlight. I'm Chingkee, Mangcucang.
And I am Sancha.
Well, today's guest is a trailblazing Filipino-American actor, singer, dancer who made history as the lead in the hit CW series Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Oh, my daughter will love this.
Very nice. And beyond acting, he's a passionate advocate for diversity and representation in Hollywood. Using his platform to uplift Asian American and LGBTQIA+ voices in the entertainment industry.
He's also an accomplished stage performer, having starred in numerous theater productions, and continues to inspire audiences with his talent, charisma, and advocacy.
Okay, please join us in welcoming Vincent
Rodriguez III.
Oh, those are so sweet.
Welcome to
Salamat.
Spotlight, Vincent.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Say hello to our mga katribo. We call them katribo.
Katribo?
Yeah, because
Kumusta ka?
Kayo, katribo.
Katibo?
Yeah.
Katribo.
Katribo.
Yeah.
Kumusta
Oh.
ka? Katribo.
Very nice. Okay, you shoot the first question.
Are you ready? Well, first
I'm
and
excited.
foremost,
Yes,
yeah,
I'm
thank
ready.
you so much for coming here.
For your time, of
gracing
course.
our show.
Oh, thank
Yeah, I know
you.
you're so busy, and in a couple of hours you will have your
Rehearsal.
We'll talk about that
Yeah.
later, mga katribo. So please stay with us. So yeah, I just would like our katribo to know more about you, Vincent.
Sure.
Your roots. You're a Filipino by blood, but you're not
Yes.
born here in
Yes,
the
I'm the
country.
only one in my family who was not born here. That is significant. My dad was trying to have a son, and he had a daughter, then another daughter,
Are
and
you
then
the
another
only
daughter.
son in the?
Opo, I'm the bunso.
Oh wow! Can you talk about your childhood in San Francisco?
Oh, yeah.
Please share it to our
Yeah, what
katribo
was it
so
like?
they will know you more.
Oh
What's
yeah,
it like?
sure. Well, I grew up in Daly City, which is a suburb of San Francisco, and most people don't know where Daly City is, which is actually very
Upper part of San Francisco. Is it?
Well, what's funny is when you take a flight into San Francisco and you drive to San Francisco, you pass through Daly City, but most people don't know that, and so I'm used to Daly City being overlooked or people don't know what it is, and so when I auditioned for the role of Josh Chan, I would affectionately call Daly City the West Covina of San Francisco.
The West Covina
of San Francisco.
Francisco.
But I love growing up in Daly City. It felt similar to Josh. You know, there was a lot of diversity, a lot of Filipinos.
Oh, a lot of
AAPI.
Filipinos.
Oh my gosh, that's how I grew up. I grew up with a lot of diversity around me, and I noticed there. I noticed there was. It was. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like my childhood was very typical. It felt typical of a Filipino kid. I was also just very enthusiastic and very interested in music. My three sisters had a very big influence, and my parents had an influence on how I became who I am. You know, playing piano as a kid, my older sister taught me that. I admired my middle sister Lisa for her independence and her strength. You know, she had fortitude. And my younger sister was became a fashion designer.
Oh, wow.
But she was the actress of my ates, and so I would see her in plays and musicals, and I'd see her rehearse with her cheerleading squad,
Oh.
and so I wanted to do all of that, and so I was
So your
inspired.
passion for music and performing arts started, it rooted from your family and perhaps the environment where you grew up.
It did. What's funny is my mom has a beautiful voice, and part of as the story goes, how my dad and my mom met. My mom would enter pageants, and she was.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, she showed me photos. She's gorgeous.
Here in the Philippines.
In the Philippines, yeah. And then she
Oh.
was applying for a job as a secretary, and like a movie. Like my dad's like, "Who's that?" And then he's like, "Oh, I think she's applying for a job as a secretary." next day. She got hired, and she was his secretary, I think. I think that's the story. I might be over-dramatizing it, but that's how they met, and they got married.
Can you mention the name of your mom?
Yeah, Eileen Coquico Rodriguez.
I want to meet her mom because
Yeah.
she's into pageantry. She's
Oh,
beautiful.
oh yeah, my mom got that from my grandma,
Okay.
Mamang, and we lost. She was one of the first grandparents we had lost when I was a kid. But I always saw Mamang in my mom, like her face, and if
So
you
it
look,
runs in the blood.
oh,
Yeah.
it's in the blood.
The genes, the being beautiful.
Right.
Oh goodness, thank
And
you. That's
Vincent,
very
earlier
kind.
you mentioned that you're into music, like into piano, right? If I remember it correctly.
Yeah, I play multiple instruments.
So can you recall what was the first piece that you played in the piano, and how was it?
I actually know what it is. It was in C major because it's easier to play the white keys. Like that worked out well.
Right.
And my eldest sister Suzanne, she was the first to go to college. She went to UC Santa Cruz. But as a kid, she was the leader. So I saw leadership, and she had a job to help raise us. You know, she had a certain temperament that she instinctually knew she had to have in order to make the family work. Because my dad was very busy. You know, my dad, he was focused on work. You know, he's a businessman. That's the best way to describe my dad. A businessman who liked his cognac. You know, he let loose with a Coors Light.
Right.
You know, and he was always had his hands in different businesses and had that plan for me because he knew I
Did
was
he
smart.
tell you what he wants you to be, or did he encourage you to be like a lawyer, like a businessman?
Yeah, like a different
And-
route.
Yeah, and then what did he feel when he found out that you're into performing
Doing
arts,
arts
and music?
instead of other fields.
Yeah, that was tough.
Because you're going on the other
normally-
side or on the
Yeah.
Imagine
other
the
way.
youngest in the family, the only boy,
Exactly.
and his dad is a businessman. Normally,
then-
businessmen like to have their businesses handled by
Mm-hmm.
the son.
Yeah, he wanted to hand it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, "This is going to be yours." I'm like, "What if I don't want it?"
I was about to
What if I
add
don't
that,
want
so
it?
There you go.
Yeah, but well, anyway, I would like to talk about. Let's talk about Josh.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Crazy
crazy-
ex-girlfriend.
Oh, gosh.
You know, mga katribo, those of you who are not so familiar with Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, because we don't have that here in the country, but you can really watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
you can
YouTube
watch-
and
yeah.
Apple Plus. It was on
Yeah.
Netflix in the States, but they took it off. So now it exists on some Netflix in different countries because I get messages on social media
Okay,
in
that's good.
different languages.
Oh,
Okay.
the author of this is the same author of the Devil Wears
Yes,
Prada,
Devil Wears
right?
Prada.
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Yeah. Oh
one of
my
the,
gosh!
One of the most
Oh my
quotable
gosh. Oh.
movies. I'm looking to the camera. I'm like, I
I would
see
say
you.
crazy movies.
Yeah, you quoted. Yes, you quoted Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
More
Yeah,
than
the
one. There's
Devil Wears-
multiple
yeah,
moments.
yeah. I love that movie. But anyway,
Me too.
Yeah,
Please.
but I would like to ask, how did you join your journey to be selected, or your journey as the main role?
Like
Right.
the audition,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
training,
Can you share it with us?
yeah, how
did you-
hard it is. Like
yeah.
that.
What was the challenge when you auditioned?
Like callbacks.
Okay.
You
like
auditioned
that.
for this?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I was in New York City. They had put out a casting call for Josh Chang, a 20-something Asian bro from West Covina. I don't know if it said like sushi, like sushi
I'm familiar
burritos.
with West Covina. A lot of relatives.
Oh,
are-
I didn't know West Covina.
Oh.
So I felt like,
That's in
oh
LA,
no,
not
I'm sorry.
in,
Yeah,
not in the north.
well, because I didn't know LA. I knew Daly
Sun-
City and San
yes.
Francisco, and then I went to school in the central coast of California in Santa Maria. So I'd go to LA for every once in a while on audition or get shoes, but LA was like New York, like so big. Like I'm not ready yet, but I was so passionate about being ready. And speaking of being ready, that's what I had with me
How
by the
did you
time I
find out
auditioned.
about the
Oh, just
Crazy
through
Ex-Girlfriend?
my agent. It's just like just another
Cold.
audition.
It's like
It was another audition. So imagine I'm 11 years in New York, pursuing a career on Broadway. Never been on Broadway. Many people I was working with had multiple Broadway shows. I didn't have mine yet, but I felt so blessed because I had been in original cast recordings, Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame, Irving Berlin's White Christmas, but you got this guy in there.
Oh.
And it premiered in San Francisco at the Curran Theater, where I saw my very first musical, Phantom of the Opera.
Oh my God.
As a kid, that was the first place. So
Wow.
a lot of full circle moments for me. But that was like a lot of my childhood that we were saying earlier really helped me get to the point where where not only did I get to play this role, Josh Chan, but I also just knew so much about that kind of guy, and that's
Because
what.
you grew up like similar to what Josh
Yeah.
In a
is
way.
or was
Yeah,
somehow.
and then that became so. In the audition, we didn't get to talk about that
Okay.
because we're not at that stage.
Yes, yes.
So it was like just read this and sing your song or whatever. Because they basically said, here are the sides, like the scenes.
Yes.
You know, as one scene. It was the New York scene where Josh and Rebecca runs into Josh on the street.
Oh, look at you there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, even look at Josh.
That is-
There's Josh there.
That is
It's
Josh.
really so funny.
It's also weird because in some of those promo photos, we didn't know the show yet. Like we had that sort of
No
thing.
idea.
So we knew nothing, you guys. We were just doing all this press, and
Yes.
we
When you
were.
learned that you will be playing the lead role, how did you feel?
Oh man. It hit me hard because
And you are the first Filipino American to play a lead role in a.
in a network show.
In a network show.
Yeah, we didn't know that either until after we had done a few episodes.
What does that mean to you?
What it means to me is, it doesn't matter what your upbringing is and,
yes.
what dreams you have and what your family or anyone else thinks of your dreams. Dreams belong to you. No one can dream
like
for
that.
you.
Yes.
Can we quote? We can quote that.
Yes, I will. Don't worry.
Dreams belong to you.
Dreams belong to you, and no one can dream for you.
There you go. I love it.
I like it.
So I would dream for me, and like in any underdog story, I met a lot of resistance growing up. I felt very different. You know, I didn't know I was a member of the LGBTQ community yet. I didn't know I was gay yet. I was dealing with that, and I was also dealing with this, I'd say, insane interest in too many things. Like a lot of things. My dad drove me to martial arts class, you know, gymnastics.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
that I would like to know. How did your dad react when he learned about this?
Well, he did. He wasn't, unfortunately, he passed away before I booked the role of Josh. But I was in the middle of my career in New York doing I think I was doing the national tour of Xanadu. So I was an
You're
understudy.
part of Xanadu.
Yeah, I was a swing, so I understudied 5 people and the lead, and I was the dance captain. So I had to learn all those parts, and I had to be able to learn all the harmony. Learn all the harmonies and the lines. And as a dance captain, if you don't know what that is, you have to know every step in the show, and you have to be able to teach it to any new member of the cast, and you're in charge of maintaining the integrity of the choreography in the show.
Yes.
And so a lot of that's a deep-rooted background that I was so fortunate and excited to bring to Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which, I mean, there's things about Josh Chan that they were not expecting.
The character of Josh Chan and Vincent Rodriguez III as the first Filipino American in mainstream lead role, in TV mainstream lead role. Have you ever realized how significant it is for all Filipinos or Filipino American communities or Filipino Americans?
I do. I do, because of how I grew up and what I was teased a bit. I did martial arts as a kid, and
Yeah, your dad said your dad used
he drove
to
me
drive.
to class because I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle.
And who in the Ninja Turtle? Who among the Ninja
Turtles?
Turtles?
I mean, Michelangelo was cool. Leonardo was cool. He was the leader. Double swords, which later on for me turned into stick fighting.
Yeah.
And then like all the empty hand, and so much full circle moments that were building up to Josh Chan, and then later on after that we'll get into that, like other roles in my career, which is to say I had dreams, and I didn't necessarily see or feel limitations, but they were being taught to me by critics and judgment and family and just outside forces. And it's really challenging to wake up in the morning and say who you are to yourself and believe it and know that whatever you say, no one can take it away from you.
Yes, I agree.
And I still struggle with that today, though I have so much more experience and like wisdom and like
Yes.
I've met other people too who go through the same thing, and I'm always fascinated to meet people who are accomplished and see how they got to where they're at, because it's hard.
Yes.
It's not ever really handed to you,
No,
and that was mine.
You have to work hard for
How
it.
did
I
Josh,
did.
your role as Josh, affect you? Did it help you a lot in terms of your confidence?
Your individuality,
your
maybe.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it did. What it also did for me, I have a personality as Vinny. I never saw in a show a breakdown, a character description that described me until Josh Chang.
Oh, so the similar, you see the similar, you see yourself in Josh.
It was,
That character.
I didn't believe it. I read it and went, that's me. That
Okay.
I've never seen me on a page. So they want to see a character that's like me. And then at the end, to make it like the cherry on top, they said, please show any musical skills, such as, like example, singing, playing guitar, rapping, etc. Well, in Vinny Brain, that meant all three. So the audition song I used was a song by Tupac Shakur called Thug Mansion that I had learned for a previous audition. And it was very difficult, and I didn't know how to play guitar at the level that they needed me to. But I have enough rhythm and played enough instruments as a kid that I could figure out bar chords and move the capo, and I did, and I learned it in one night, that song. And so by the time this audition came up, I did my song, and I remember the casting director looked at me and he stopped the recording and went, I didn't know you could do that. Like, he was blown away. Like, I'd never seen him look at me that way before, and that's when it began, Tita. Like,
So you knew.
I started
Do you have a good chance?
well, I just knew that there was something in me that people hadn't seen yet, and I'd been waiting to share or show and be recognized for, and that's a long time to wait for that opportunity, and I waited. And there's like,
that's really for you.
it was my, like, there's a saying in the industry where, like, when you audition for shows, for an opportunity, you will book the jobs that are for you. And if you don't get the job, that's not your job, it's not for you. That's for them.
I agree with you.
And you know what? That's okay, because
That's true.
that
I believe
opportunity
in
for
that
you,
too, yeah.
it's out there. But you have to keep going.
Oh, mga katribo, this
Okay.
gets more and more interesting.
But
Yeah.
before we keep going, we'll pause for a break. Stay tuned.
This break is brought to you by Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart. Live more today. Union Bank. It starts with you.
Usapang OFW is the show that honors the journeys of our modern-day heroes, our OFWs. Join Chingkee Fernandez, John Dodson, and Rafi Ayang every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear the real stories behind the sacrifices. Watch it live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Want to hear from thought leaders shaping our world? Straight Talk with Chito Lazada and Ted Montalibano dives into leadership, politics, and business every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Catch conversation live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Ready for the hot takes of today's biggest issues? Hot Patatas with Vernon Velasco and Carl Magadia delivers the news that matters. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Tune in live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok, where the real talk happens.
Utol, once just a colloquial term for a brother or sister. Today, the same term stands for a better option to your transportation needs. Unified Transport Operations League, or better known as Utol, was established to give you an alternative to ride-hailing, with the concept of availing the service with care and compassion, as if it was rendered by your own sibling. Now, who would you prefer to drive you home? Utol, the ride-hailing app to consider.
It's so exciting, and people. I'm so excited that our Katibo can be aware that one Filipino brought so much pride to us, to the Philippines. Although he has not been here since he was born, but his family, his roots, it's from the Philippines. So.
Right.
It's getting really very interesting.
Right.
And so let's talk about Hollywood.
Yes. And I was about to say that he's coming to the Philippines for the first time, right?
I mean,
First
I think I was here when I was 5.
5.
But I don't know if I count that because I don't remember.
You don't remember because
Yeah.
here in Manila or
Manila.
Manila.
I have like one memory, and I don't know. I only have one memory, and it's a silly memory.
Let's not talk about it.
It's an embarrassing memory about me.
But you don't understand. Do you understand a little Tagalog?
No. I mean, some. I grew up hearing Tagalog in my house. So and also all my titas and titos
and your siblings, do they speak Tagalog?
My
No.
sisters were very Americanized, so they could understand it very, very well.
Okay.
And
But
they would
cannot
speak a little bit, but as they got older, they wouldn't speak it, but they always could understand it. And I started to notice being at home with my mom, I kind of knew what she meant contextually. So some words I wouldn't understand, but I knew she wanted me to clean the table. So I figured it out. So I didn't get to learn Tagalog. However, because of I ended up being an actor, I loved commercials.
Right.
I loved music. I loved matching. I loved mimicking, and that is one of the first actual tools of acting.
Well, before we talk about Hollywood, and then he was talking
Yes.
about cleaning the table. What's your favorite food? I thought of table.
Oh my gosh.
Before we talk about Hollywood, because we
Yeah,
want
sure.
to know more about your experience in Hollywood. But,
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but what's your favorite Filipino food? Or what
mean-
is served in your...
I mean, palabok, chicken adobo,
palabok.
kare-kare, lumpia.
Okay.
Those are my
so,
staples.
Yeah, we understand now. That
Oh yeah,
you-
halo-halo.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
we threw down. My mom, she threw down.
When did you arrive in Manila?
You mean,
Here,
we arrived on Sunday night.
Oh, okay.
Sunday.
So
Have
2
you
days ago.
tasted all these delicious food?
Not all of them, but some already.
Ah,
Yes,
okay.
That's good to hear.
I'm staying. My producer and friend Don Mike Mendoza, who's the
Hi,
reason
Mike.
why I'm
Good
here.
afternoon.
You have
He's
to
sitting-
spoil him, Mr. Producer. Okay, let's continue the
Okay, let's
discussion
go.
about your Hollywood,
Yeah, because I know a lot of-
Hollywood
yeah.
thing.
But I did get to eat. I did get to
exactly.
eat some food.
We'll eat later with
Oh,
the
yeah.
producer. Okay? All right. So let's talk about Hollywood. We
sure.
know that this time it's already diverse, right? And then
Yeah.
earlier you mentioned that your dad passed away without you knowing who you are as a member of LGBTQIA+, right? So how was your experience in the US in terms of being who you are? I mean, is it hard? Do you find it interesting or in a way helpful in your career?
Being different.
Yeah, being different, yes.
Oh, well, what's interesting is what people don't tell you when you're young and you discover you're different, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
Because I talk about it in my show. There's so many different ways that we are different or that we are otherized.
Right.
We are ostracized. There's so many different reasons. It could be class, it could be what you wear, it could be like your appearance. You wear funny glasses, whatever, the silly things that we do in those social situations. So growing up, no one tells you as a kid that your differences become your strengths. But that's as you live through life and you pay attention and you begin to learn on a whole nother level. Like your curiosity pays off, and the no's that you hear, all the times that you thought you failed, no one tells you that failure is how you get to succeed. Failure is how you learn. If you don't fail, if you don't make mistakes, you'll never get better. So anyone who compliments my skill, it's because I failed so many times and I just got right back up, and that's the muscle.
Right.
That's the rep. That's the key. That's the key to open doors for yourself. So you didn't get what you wanted? That's fine. What's next? What are you going to do about it? And so I knew I was different as a kid. I knew I was gay, but I also knew I loved music. I loved martial arts. I loved a cappella. I learned from my three older sisters how to braid hair very early on.
I want to say something that I cannot say. I'm so sorry. But I can't. So sorry.
So I'll say something on your behalf. I thought that was a very straight, very specific OGT, obvious gay trait. Like three older sisters. But talk about identity crisis. I grew up in San Francisco, which is like a hallmark of representation.
Used to be my favorite city.
Oh, see, so
Used
you
to
and
be.
it has that community.
Not anymore,
Yeah, I was about to say, why?
No, I'll talk about it later. Yeah, I'll talk about it
Okay.
later.
But
You know, yes, please continue.
yeah, but feeling like I was in the city, and it took me a long time to feel comfortable with myself. But I remember growing up, my family wasn't necessarily the most warm about that. Like I remember as a kid, my dad would
Does your dad know?
He
Did he
didn't.
know?
He didn't know. He didn't find out until I was in college, and then so he did know eventually. But it was something that he was like, I don't want you to say it. I don't want to talk about it. Don't show it to me. And that was very hurtful. At 19 years old, on my first day in Santa Maria, before I start my first year of acting at the Pacific Conservatory of Performing Arts, my first time living outside of home. But instead of crumbling, like you see in the movies, I remember having that moment waiting to... No, it was like, what am I going to have for dinner? Pizza. like,
How about your mom?
like I did it.
How
Like,
did she take it?
she loved me. She just wants me to be happy.
That's
good. People fear what they don't understand. So it made sense to me over time, like why my dad reacted the way he did, and why my mom reacted the way she did. But it all ended up working out, because all that time I spent complaining about what life was doing to me, I eventually learned how life was happening for me.
I have a lot of questions, but the reason why he's here, I would like to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're here after
So
how many
many years.
Yeah.
Decades.
48 years, a century, or whatever.
I was like, hey, 48, how old do you think I am? No,
48
I'm
years.
42.
Let's
I'm
talk about
42. To be
You
fair,
are already
years.
42?
I'm 42.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
You take care of yourself.
I do.
Very much.
I
You
do.
look young.
I do. My trainer, Eric the trainer, when I started working with him 7 years ago, I didn't realize what he was going to teach me beyond transforming my body, which is his job. Transform celebrities, action heroes, stars. And he taught me that. And well, he didn't necessarily teach me that. That's how he trained me. I'm the one that adopted, no, you're my sensei. So I called him sir, because I had 2 black belts at that point. And I respected him so much, and I asked him so many questions. I treated, I call it a conservatory mindset, where you adopt a beginner mindset and a curiosity as if you're in school. So that's what I treated it like. So things I didn't understand, I'd ask, and I would research, and it was like being in a master's program of life and fitness. And because he's an artistic guy and created a gym that is for artists who sing, who dance, I do all those things. He would play guitar, like Def Leppard would come in and work out, like famous bands would come in. So I had that kind of support from him during that transformation, and it helped me become a new version of myself, where I wasn't this husky boy, because that was what I was called as a kid, and it hurt because I knew what it meant.
In terms of inclusivity in
Yeah.
Hollywood, do you think it can possibly improve some more? I think it's improving.
Yeah.
But what do you want to see in maybe a few years from now?
I want to see more more. Give us more diversity. Before Josh Chan, there wasn't enough, because that was my story. It's like, who are my idols?
Nothing.
Who did I
What else
have?
followed after that?
I did have someone. I had Paulo Montalban, Cinderella.
Yeah, Cinderella.
With
Oh, a lot of.
yeah.
I read a lot of Filipino American artists who are now known in Hollywood.
Flourishing in the U.S.
Yeah, flirt. And then and he ended up dating someone who ended up being my best friend in New York, and so she went to my opening night of my first show in New York. It was off Broadway.
Mga katribo, we know that you are so excited to hear more about Vincent. We will talk, we will ask him more questions off cam, and you'll share it to you online and on print. But we would like to share to you now is the reason why he's here.
Yes.
Let's talk about it first.
Yes.
Vince.
Yeah, and you are coming to the Philippines because
Yeah.
of...
Yeah, because of...
An intimate evening with Vincent Rodriguez III, my solo cabaret.
And can you tell us more about it? And I would like to call in a few minutes.
Sure.
A couple of minutes. Yeah, there. Okay. So
Hey.
look at that. Can you talk about it, Vincent? What have you prepared for your mga kababayans here in?
What can we expect?
Oh gosh.
What shall we expect?
This will be on Thursday, right?
Yes, on Thursday night,
Thursday.
6
March
o'clock.
6th, okay.
Yeah, 6 o'clock is when like dinner time is, and 7 o'clock
God,
is the
it's
show.
in 2 days.
Yeah, it's in 2 days. It's
We will
tight.
be there.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I hope so. It's
Yeah.
well, it's a lot of fun. So this evening is unique. It's also titled very specifically an intimate evening with me. It's at night, evening, the intimate part. You're gonna get to know me
Who is
in the room.
Yeah,
And
Vincent.
I'm not gonna perform at you. I'm going to be with you. Oh. And I'm gonna share
Oh, that's something.
these moments, these songs I learned, these dances. I'm going to talk about where they came from. I'm going to talk about how they serendipitously were a reflection of my past, and how all those moments that we were kind of talking about as childhood
Nice.
showed up in the show. And then
I'm already excited.
we talk
Yes.
about it. Yeah, well, I talk
Josh
about it.
of Crazy
Crazy
Ex-Girlfriend.
Well,
We'll be performing in front of
I
you.
have been calling him Josh.
Yeah.
She's been calling him Josh
Yeah.
off cam.
And I actually like it. I usually
Okay.
don't.
I think I'm gonna go out.
But when you say it, there's something very affectionate about it. So I was like, oh, I kind of like it. How do you say it? But people get to know me. People don't really know me. I mean, social media has helped, and my social media has grown since Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
And your mga kababayans here in the Philippines, they don't really know you much yet.
Yeah.
Except for some who have seen the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yes, or
But
like-
we'll pause for a short break, mga katribo. Please stay with us. And when we get back, we will be calling, the producer will be joining us to tell us more about it with Vince. See you in a bit.
And this break is brought to you by Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart. Live more today. Union Bank. It starts with you.
Usapang OFW is the show that honors the journeys of our modern-day heroes, our OFWs. Join Chingkee Fernandez, John Dodson, and Rafi Ayang every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear the real stories behind the sacrifices. Watch it live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Want to hear from thought leaders shaping our world? Straight Talk with Chito Lazada and Ted Montalibano dives into leadership, politics, and business every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Catch conversation live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Ready for the hot takes of today's biggest issues? Hot Patatas with Vernon Velasco and Carl Magadia delivers the news that matters. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Tune in live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok, where the real talk happens.
Utol, once just a colloquial term for a brother or sister. Today, the same term stands for a better option to your transportation needs. Unified Transport Operations League, or better known as UTOL, was established to give you an alternative to ride-hailing, with the concept of availing the service with care and compassion, as if it was rendered by your own sibling. you prefer to drive you home? Utol, the ride-hailing app to consider.
This break is brought to you by Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart. Live more today. Union Bank. It starts with you.
Usapang OFW is the show that honors the journeys of our modern-day heroes, our OFWs. Join Chingkee Fernandez, John Dodson, and Rafi Ayang every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear the real stories behind the sacrifices. Watch it live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Want to hear from thought leaders shaping our world? Straight Talk with Chito Lazada and Ted Montalibano dives into leadership, politics, and business every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Catch conversation live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Ready for the hot takes of today's biggest issues? Hot Patatas with Vernon Velasco and Carl Magadia delivers the news that matters every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Tune in live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok, where the real talk happens.
Utol, once just a colloquial term for a brother or sister. Today, the same term stands for a better option to your transportation needs. Unified Transport Operations League, or better known as Utol, was established to give you an alternative to ride-hailing, with the concept of availing the service with care and compassion, as if it was rendered by your own sibling. Now, who would you prefer to drive you home? Utol, the ride-hailing app to consider.
Welcome back, mga katribo, and now joining us is the producer of the Intimate Evening with Vincent Rodriguez.
Or should I say Josh?
Oh.
Because you
Third,
you know.
and that will be on March 6. Welcome to the show, Don, Michael, Hodriel Mendoza.
Oh, wow. Complete talaga.
Oh, kompleto. Oh.
Hello, it's nice to see you again.
Good to see
For
you
how many?
again.
40 after 48 years old.
Oh.
No, seriously.
No,
Please,
couple
I'm sorry.
of years.
So sorry.
Couple of
We're
years.
100
After
years.
a couple
Okay,
of
fine.
years.
Sorry.
Oo.
Okay, please.
For those of you who do not know the family of Don Michael Hodriel Mendoza, especially the grandfather, was the founder of the now very famous light truck. Today nag-start niyan.
Yes.
So, well, welcome to the show.
Welcome back.
Don. Welcome back. And I would like you to talk about, the two of you talk about the show. We're so excited about it, but we would like you to share to our katribo what's waiting for them. I mean, what's in store for them.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me back. It's nice to be back in the studio with you and with my friend Vinny. So what they can expect is almost like, I don't know if people in the Philippines understand this, but like whoever remembers or has seen Lifetime Movie Network, there was Intimate Portrait. This is an intimate portrait of Vincent Rodriguez III. It's about his life leading up to and a little after Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So how it came to be, where he was before that, and all of the things that happened in his life that kind of created this moment for him. And then a little bit of afterwards of talking about since then, how has that changed him? How has that guided him to what's next? And then the show ends with a nice moment of him kind of leaving you with something to take with you, like advice, a learning moment. So it is a very, we called it the other day a therapeutic show because it's great for people who are experiencing the same industry, but it's also personally for him, like what I perceived, I said, you are giving your past self the congratulations and the kudos that past Vincent deserved. Because when you're in this industry, you don't get a lot of good job. unless you're worth something to somebody, right? So there's a lot of self-care and self-encouragement. So this show is also that. So it kind of not only inwardly, but outwardly to people in the audience who are going through the same journey. So it kind of gives them hope and something to aspire to.
So invite them, Vince.
Well, yeah, I want to invite you. This is your invitation. Hi, I'm Vinny. I invite you to an intimate evening with Vincent Rodriguez III, and that is me. I hope to see you there. We're going to have a fun time, and I'm going to take you on a journey. It's a live show, not just any live show. That's not a play. It's not a musical. It's going to be an experience, a live experience where anything can happen, and I do magic. So, you know, just come. Just come. Just like come see the show.
Magic. You're serious, right?
I'm a magician. When I was a kid, like I was telling you, I had so many interests as a kid, which made me seem a little like all over the place, you know, which is explained in the show.
Is that something that we're gonna see on Thursday?
Yes, you are going to see some magic on
And
Thursday.
this will
okay.
be at
At
yeah.
12 Monkeys in Pasig, in Ortigas. So Sancha Mall.
And then
Stanton
I wanna
Mall. That's
know,
a nice place.
right? And I wanna know, right after the show, are you doing something in the Philippines afterward? Do you have anything or any plans of what?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna stay for a little bit and enjoy beautiful Manila because like I haven't been here in over 48 years, as Kim says. But actually, aside from performing, one of the things I told Don Mike is when we first started talking about me doing a solo show, I said on one condition, I want you to also look into teaching opportunities, which seems odd. It seems odd, right? Usually a performer creates a wall.
Yes.
You know, for like, you know, ooh, like we get to see them and then they're gone. It creates like a supply and demand, right? Well, I didn't want that. I wanted the opposite. I said earlier, it's in a live show and you're going on a journey with me. I look you in the eye. I sing to you as me. I talk about my stories and I refer to you. I learn some of you I learn your names. And I experienced that on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend because we would do live shows. But a TV show cast never does a live musical show with no script. But we did. And it was I can't tell you how much fun it is. For the people who've watched Crazy Ex-Girlfriend or who've been following the cast or
But
who've
that's
been...
not the only show that you
No,
did a lot. You
I
did The Hunchback of
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame,
He-
yeah.
He's actually on TV, in theater. I mean,
Yeah.
his dancing, his choreography.
Here Lies
he's an
Love.
artist.
You're also part of it,
Thank
right?
you.
Right,
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like all my dance training paid off, and all the other shows I did in television. I was in With Love on Prime Video, and I played a bisexual Filipino
Yes.
dreamboat. Not my words. Gloria Calderon-Kellett's
thing you
words,
say that.
the showrunner. But that role to me was the epitome of like the rom-com where there's a character who's very handsome,
there
very
will be-
charismatic, but they're usually white. And I had never seen an Asian American actor in a rom-com who was that symbol. And I had an opportunity in With Love to do that. And then obviously like Crazy Rich Asians and you know, things have changed.
With all these, you're really successful.
Oh,
But with
thank
all
you.
this, what else do you want to do? Is there anything else that you
You
dream
want
to
to try,
do?
want to do?
Well, I mean, like what I was
Can we
gonna
talk about Saturday?
Yeah, well, okay,
Sorry,
so-
the producer, I'm like, talk about Saturday.
What's on Saturday?
Well,
Everyone's listening,
so
talk about
the caveat to doing my solo show, which makes it different than maybe other solo performances, like when an artist gives a concert, I want to have teaching opportunities because I'm a...
That will be on Saturday.
That's going to be on Saturday. Yeah, people don't know this about me, but since I graduated from the Pacific Conservatory of Performing Arts in 2003, I have taught every year at my high school or PCPA or some other
so
dance
have you
performing arts school.
invited? Have you
Yeah, so what's happening on
Yeah,
Saturday?
so Saturday,
Tell
so
us,
Saturday's
tell
gonna be
us.
that. We're gonna dance. We're gonna
Okay.
It's a good thing I asked.
What's
we're gonna
happening?
dance. We're gonna dance. We're gonna dance. We're gonna do a Groove 3 dance class, which is hip hop, cardio, dance,
Oh,
fitness.
wow.
So it's all levels, so that you know it
Where
doesn't
will
matter.
this be?
That's
So Saturday at 2 classes back to back. One
Right.
class is a musical theater acting class.
Oh, that's the
so
next
he's
one.
going to
How long
coach
will
people
that be?
first. It'll start at 10:15 a.m.
In the
and
morning.
for about 90 minutes. And then the second class will be Groove 3, what he's
Oh,
talking about.
oh, I got 'em
which is
flipped.
dance-
I
Yeah.
thought- okay.
And we'll be at Mirror Studio Theater on Kalayaan.
Ding Kalayaan.
Yeah. And so our accompanist will be Ronnie, who's also accompanying the show.
Mm-hmm.
On March 6th, and so it's the spots for that are already available to register on the same website where you buy tickets for the solo show. So go there, you'll see the show and you'll see the classes.
What's the
Yeah.
website?
It's dmhmproductions.com/events.
All right.
Okay.
And also, anyone who follows me on social media, which I'm sure you
Yes.
guys do,
Please, everybody,
the links
follow.
are the link. It's on the link tree. The link is in the bio. And I know there's musical theater people out there
yes,
who
a
love
lot.
to sing.
Yes,
I know
yes, a lot.
Filipinos love. To sing.
Yes.
It's your chance to learn from Josh Chan.
I want. Well, that's the thing. As you could tell, I'm very passionate about my history and the things I've gotten to do. I don't want to hold on to it. I want to share it. I lived a whole nother rich, abundant life by doing Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and it's exposed me to a lot of people and from all over the world. And so for me, giving back to the community isn't just like volunteering, which I do sometimes, but it's also meeting the people who appreciate the art and who want to participate. So I teach in all levels hip-hop cardio dance class so that it doesn't matter if you're not a professional dancer. I teach lawyers, doctors, like people old, young, different ages, body
It can be
sizes.
therapeutic,
It's
know?
very therapeutic. Dance is not just about looking good. Dance is, it's been in our DNA as human beings for the longest time, and there's a lot of like health benefits for it, like mental health benefits. But for anyone who loves musical theater and wants to sing and sing a show tune, and you want some coaching, we're doing that, and that's something really exciting because that took up 11 years of my life, and I love giving away the things I learned from the Broadway choreographers, directors.
There are so many aspiring young ones to be, aspiring to be one Vincent Rodriguez. There are so many. What would you advise these young aspirants?
Yeah, I would say to you, dream your dream, and risk failure at the possibility of success.
Risk failure at the possibility of success.
Yeah, bet on yourself.
Right.
Bet on yourself. Absolutely. So, because I know I've seen the passion in Filipinos, and I have to. Oh my gosh, sorry. We were touring around Manila, and I was learning the history of Manila. I'm shaking. A lot of this information I didn't know. I knew some of it, but not a lot of it. And it started to connect with me in a way where I understood my family more, my parents, my relatives, the things that Don Mike and I have talked about that are challenging being in a Filipino family, the dynamics, the challenge with older and young, and the tradition, and what is expected of you. And especially when you say you want to be an artist or do something that isn't certain, like something that isn't a lawyer, isn't a nurse, isn't a doctor, isn't an engineer or an architect. It's very difficult. And so for those of you who are artists, I would say, do your art. And if you want to have a job, do it. If you want to do it. But if you want to sing, you're a singer. And there's nothing impossible about being a singer who is a lawyer or who has a nursing degree or whatever. Like we are not just one thing. You can be all of you.
Hollywood is glamorous.
Yes.
Being Vincent Rodriguez III is glamorous. But what was the greatest challenge? How would you prepare other than being ready to fail? Embrace your failure. Those who are just starting, what do you think they need to do? You equip yourselves with so many things.
Yeah.
You learn how to sing, how to play musical instruments,
Dance.
even martial arts.
Yeah, martial arts and acting.
You studied.
I do. I take class twice a
Why
week.
do you think it's important for aspirants, young artists, to bank on themselves? I mean, to start investing on themselves
invest.
on this.
The easiest answer is, how do you expect a casting director, a producer, to invest in you if you won't invest in yourself?
Exactly. That's perfect.
How?
is.
How?
Discipline, huh?
Yes.
Very important.
Where does
in
discipline
things,
come from? Comes from love.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Discipline's fueled by love. And if you love something, I know you love music, I know you love dancing, I know you love acting and playing pretend. Do it. You know, and you don't have to do it for the profession. Sometimes you can do it because you love it. Like Don Mike is an amazing singer.
So you will be having
know?
an intimate evening with Vincent Rodriguez III, and you will have a show, a class, a couple
Yeah,
of
on
classes.
Saturday. Yeah.
What's next? Do you plan to come back to Manila?
I would love to come back.
We would love to. Let us know if
Yeah.
you want this
So,
Filipino
yes.
dreamboat to come back.
Yeah,
to
we're
Manila.
inviting all
Let us know.
serious,
All serious inquiries
producers
only.
there who would like to work with Vincent. You know, the Josh of Crazy ex-girlfriend. Yeah, to contact them and see if we can collaborate. That's really, you know,
You
I
said
would
it.
be love. I
Collaborate,
would
yeah.
love him to stay here and inspire and train more Filipinos. So we will be more global.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the reach that TV, film, and voiceover has, and it's also very meaningful to go back to your roots and also to expand and take up more space and do new dynamic things. Like I've never been in a musical in Manila. I haven't filmed a movie here, a TV show. I haven't, you know, been a model, or there's a lot of things I haven't explored yet that I'm very interested in because I'm curious, and I don't want to waste all this energy and enthusiasm that I have for what I do. I want to share it, and I want to collaborate with other artists who are also enthusiastic and who are serious about playing.
Okay. Do you have any parting words with our Katribo, those who are watching us right now, young ones, even the producers?
Oh, yeah,
other,
producers.
Other artists. So yeah, so Don and Vince, you have the you have the floor.
ahead.
Please invite them or say anything
Sure.
to them.
I want to hear you invite them, but I also want you to talk to the producers.
Oh, okay. Do better. No. No. Well, to the producers out there, like, I think we're only as successful as our collaborations, and only as successful as how willing we are to be open to partnering and to creating together, because there is a very obvious trait in our culture that is called crab mentality, where we
Yes.
don't support or we're very jealous. I think there's a new generation of producers who are trying to fight that, and I'm one of them. And we really want to make sure that we're moving forward together, not against one another. Like there's no competition. We're all Filipino. So to the producers here, at least in this market, let's work together. Let me know. You know, Vincent
One of our
can come to you.
Later, I'll talk to them.
And so that, but to anybody watching, like just what Vinny said earlier, go for what you want. Bet on yourself. Like it, and like I said last time here, you know, ask for what you want, because the worst that they'll say is no. And if they say no, you're asking the wrong person. So you'll get there. So that's my last words. And so yeah, come to the show on Thursday to, you know, see a
12
journey
Monkeys.
at 12
At 12
Monkeys in
Monkeys, yeah.
Pasig, and learn about a journey that could also
It starts
be
at
like
what time?
yours. Our doors open at 6 o'clock for dinner, so please eat dinner there.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
That's a producer saying please eat dinner there.
Yeah,
And then
enjoy.
also subtext. And then the show starts at 7 o'clock. And if you come to the show, you'll be able to meet Vinny after the show
Yeah.
at the 7 repeat. So get a picture, say hello.
yeah,
And we've got some pretty amazing guests that are coming to the show. It's going to be a pretty star-studded night, so you should come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have a lot of surprises.
Okay.
Okay, Vinny?
Well,
Anything else?
Oh gosh. Well, I want to say thank you for having me here, and it's been an honor and a pleasure, and it's been
course.
very meaningful for me to experience the motherland of where my people are from and where my family's from, my actual family. And so, you know, to my fellow Pinoys out there, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to finally connect in this way. And I feel like it was meant to be that my first time back as an adult is not to just take a vacation, and it's not just to perform in a show. It's to actually open my heart and share who I am and how I got here with you, and to leave you with a sentiment that hopefully inspires you and an experience that is going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced.
Thank you so much for gracing the show. It's
Yes.
indeed a
And
pleasure
good
and a
luck.
privilege. Yeah, and we will be supporting the show. We will watch
We
and
will
invite
see you
everyone.
Thursday.
Thank you so much. And that's a wrap up for today's episode of Spotlight. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Vincent Rodriguez III and learned more about his journey in the entertainment industry. Sorry. I'm so excited. I'm really so excited. I can't talk much.
We are.
Oh, but yeah, and also I would like to thank Don Michael Hodriel Mendoza for joining us. It's really a pleasure. Thank you for thinking about Daily Tribune. We are glad that we're partnering with you and supporting this show. We believe in the show. We believe in Vincent Rodriguez III. And please, everyone, mga katribo, join us on Thursday, 6 March, 6 o'clock in 12 Monkeys in Pasig. And I'm sure you will never, ever regret watching the show.
Right.
Kim?
And correct. That's very nice. So if you miss any part of today's discussion, don't worry. You can always catch the full episode online.
And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Straight Talk at 10
Right.
a.m., followed by Hot Patatas at 3 p.m. for more insightful discussions and breaking news.
Right, and it's been a pleasure having you with us.
Until
Until next
next time.
time, stay informed and stay inspired.
I'm Chingkee, Mangcucang.
And I'm Kim Sancha.
And this has been your Spotlight.
This public service announcement is brought to you by Meralco.
Alam nyo ba kung saan napupunta ang binabayad nyo sa Meralco? Dito sa series na ito, isa-isahin natin yan para maipaliwanag ko po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Joe Saldariaga ng Meralco Corporate Communication Office. Alam nyo ba na pag nagbabayad kayo ng bill sa kuryente, nasa mga 20% lang on the average ang napupunta sa Meralco? Sa katotohanan, nahahati sa iba't ibang components ang inyong electricity bill. Kumbaga parang pizza lang yan. Kasama sa binabayaran natin ay ang generation charge na napupunta sa generation companies o mga nag-ooperate ng power plants, transmission charge na napupunta sa System Grid Operator ng Pilipinas, na National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, at iba-ibang charges na napupunta sa gobyerno. Tulad po ito ng mga subsidies, taxes, universal charges at fit-all. Kung tutuusin, tulad nga nabanggit ko, nasa around 20% on the average ang kabuang bill ang binabayad sa Meralco sa pamamagitan ng distribution charge. Ito na ang pinaka-epektibong sistema para sa electricity consumers. Iwas abala ito para hindi na isa-isahin pang bayaran ng iba't ibang kumpanya na dinadaanan ng kuryente. Naway, nabigyan linaw ko po kayo kahit papano sa inyong mga katunungan ukol sa inyong electricity bill. Hanggang sa muli, ako po si Manong Joe, ang inyong lingkod.